Hello guys, welcome back to LetCode once again. So in our previous video, we have learned how to create this beautiful dashboard, and we are able to get the test suite detail from the user, like author name, project name, test type, right? And also we have learned how to configure the test preferred, result preferred themes, and how to change the file name, right? So in a very small time, very less time, I can say, we have learned a lot of things, right? So we are going to enhance this learning furthermore. So we have done almost like the right side of this section. We are done with this section. Of course, enhancement can be done easily with the CSS, so let's not worry about the CSS because that is beyond scope of this particular playlist. Okay, now we are going to focus on actually this particular left hand side where we have this test details, right? So this is the file name. So for example, if you go to your to do spec, you can select uh, demo dash to do dash app dot spec dot ts, right? So that is my file name, and then we have the test suite name, that is the describe block name, right? And within that we have the browser, whether in terms of playwright it's project, whether it's a Chromium or Firefox, right? And then within that we have all the tests, like should allow me to. So you can see here, you can see the next one, you can see the next one, right? So we have to accumulate each and every test block which is present inside the describe block and which is present inside the file name. So we know that playwright supports out of the box, like we can do the parallel testing. So if I run this, for example, if you go and see this one, right? So already we have the project name, we have all the file path, we have the test suite name, we have the title, right? So if I go and execute this in parallel, what will happen means it will give us everything at a time, but it won't be your grouped, accumulated. For example, let's go and run this, right? So I'm going to run in parallel. Let's say we can use the worker. Where is worker? Is the worker? So let's say that we want to run in 4 parallel instances, right? And I'm going to run everything. So let's go and remove all the skip. You can select, you can use Control D, and you can just hit backspace to delete, right? Now let's go back to our terminal, and I'm going to say npm followed by test. And if I run this, so here you can see like we have the light theme and the file name is ortoni report. So it should open with that one. Let's see. Okay, actually I forgot to display it, so it will not display. So yeah, let me run one more time. Probably I will correct it in the editing. So yeah, on test end means, of course, after each and every test to show us the detail, but I don't want to do that. I want to rather print after all the tests get executed. So we can see like this is our class level variable, right? So of course I can make use of it. So here I can say like console dot log, then followed by this dot test result. Okay, so yeah, let's go and run this. And here also you can select on the on end function, we are not using the result. So if you go to the full result, you can say it's giving us status, which is like passed, failed, timeout, or uninterrupt. It is giving us the start time. It is giving you the total duration of your entire test suite with all the projects. We can make use of it in a better way, but maybe in upcoming videos, right? And most of things, like you should know the Java array concept. That is very important while creating projects like this. For example, here we have used the filter functions, then we are going to use the reduce. Now we are going to use the reduce function. So let's see. Okay, so here you can see like we got the project name, we got the status, file path, suite name, and title, right? So we got everything in an structured way, but it is an object where we are not able to find, like we can find, but we are not able to see now how the data is designed. For example, here we know that this three particular test belongs to this test suite, and this test suite is belong to this particular test file. Similarly, if you go to the next one, you can see like we have this one. So we are going to do the sections, we are going to segregate. So we know that already we are getting all the details, all the data we are able to fetch in the runtime, but we have to do the grouping, right? So let's do the grouping now. So I'm going to create a function let's name it like group result, and I might not need this anywhere else, so let's make it private for now. Okay, that's good. Okay, now in the group result, what we are going to do is we are going to so already you know that we are getting all the things from the test results, right? So from the test result, we are going to use the function called reduce to do the accumulation. So in the reduce, what we get is basically, come on, close the bracket. Yeah, so we'll get the accumulation. Let's name it like ACC, and also we know that we are going to get one result at a time, and then followed by we'll also get the index, right? Now of course I have to return. Until return it won't work, so we will just return will return something, maybe you will return. Okay, and also it needs a starting point where we are going to start, so we are going to start with an empty object. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to store this, whatever the accumulation we are going to do, we are going to store it in a, let's name it like uh results maybe. Yeah, okay. So this result we are getting from the test result. From the test results, we are going to get one result at a time, and then we'll do this. Okay. Now, why we are getting error? ACC declared, but its value is never used. Okay, it's not an error; it's a warning. Yeah, we'll use it. Don't worry. TypeScript. Okay. Now, how we want to make the structure? So you can either go with, like, you can make your project at the top level, then the test suite name, then the describe block name, then the test name. Or else what I preferred is, like, first of all I want to know what is the file, which file it's get executed, then what is the spec name, like what is the describe block name, within the describe block whether it run in the Chromium or Firefox. If it's Firefox, I will go and check. Okay, this is the basic idea I have. So of course ideas can be deferred. So we have filters also, right? So basically from the data I can just filter. If I want to see only the Chromium, I can go and select. If I don't want to see, I want to see Firefox, I can go it. Even without this project also we can create, right? So that is how ortoni report is configured. But what is the starting point, how to learn it, that is what we are going to focus now. So here I'm going to say, like, we want to accumulate first the file path, right? But from where we'll get the file path? So if you remember the test result, basically this is the test data, right? This is what we are pushing to the array of test result, where we have file path, suite name, title, project name, all the details we have, right? So what we'll do, we'll just destructure that first. Okay, if you do not know what is destructuring, don't worry, I have a detailed video, we can go and check it out anytime. Okay, so from this one I'm going to say, like, I'm going to get the details from my result variable, and here I want to get my file path, then followed by my project name, and lastly I also want to get the test suite name. Okay, now we are going to accumulate based on the file path first, so let's make it like accumulate of file path, and again accumulate of file path. If there is no file path, probably I would like to make it as an empty object. Okay, then similarly within the file path I want to get my test suite name, right? So here we'll add another array, we'll say like test suite name, and here also suite name, and within the test suite name, of course we want to get the project name, right? So here we'll just simply add another value, that is project. Okay, so and this is going to make it as an array. So why array? In the sense, like, this file path and the test suite name will work based on the key and value. So it will be like your key and value, and this is going to be, your project name is going to be in the format of array. Okay, so that we can easily fetch the data. Okay, I'll come back to that. I mean, I will explain this once again after a while. Let me finish it off. Okay, so here what we are going to do is, okay, let me explain now itself. So first of all, we are collecting from the result. So this test result is going to give us, so if you go to the console log, you can see it is giving us bunch of objects, right? Array of objects actually. So from the array of object, we are trying to fetch a particular object, that is what result. So consider this one, right? Now here we can see, like, we have the file path, that is what we have destructured in the sense, like, from an object we have taken out the data. Okay, then we have the project name, then we have the test suite name. Now how I want to show based on file path. So that is why from this is basically an array, right? So from the array we are just fetching the file path, I mean, we are storing it and we are fetching from here. Typical right hand side to left hand side, the way all the programming language was, nothing crazy over here, right? From the file path, I want to get also the test suite name. I mean, I want to attach to my file path. So here we'll have the test suite name, and then we'll attach the file path, and then similarly we'll do the project name also. Okay. Now what we are going to return here, we are going to return all the data, right? Yeah, so whatever we have accumulated, so this is my final accumulation, right? So I want to pass this, I want to return this. Apart from that, also I want to push, since it's an array, I can push, right? So we want to push all the result. So for example, all the result I want to push, as well as I want to pass the indexing. So indexing will be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 based on the number of data we have. So typically index value can be used as a key, and which will be unique. Okay, right. Now that's it, we have done the group result. Right now we can return this. So once the accumulation is completed, we can return the results, the overall results, right? So we have written this. Now let's go and use it. So I'm just going to print it now. So instead of like test result, I want to print this dot group result. Okay, and this function of course we'll use. Okay, yeah, I guess it should work fine. Okay, even if you don't return also it should work, because no, it won't, of course. If we don't return work, it will work, but when like whatever we are doing the accumulation, we are actually storing and returning. So if you want to modify within the same array, that is also possible, right? Yeah, so let's go and run this now. Let's see. So previously, if you remember, we have this array. Within array we have a lot of objects, right? Now let's see how we are going to get the group results. We check the time, it's 11:20 p.m. already, and I'm recording it for 12 minutes. So probably I'll stop today with the results showing you, and in the next video we'll learn how to build the UI. If it works fine, yeah, I think it should work fine. You can play with this, like if you want your project name to be on the top, you can just add the project name here, and then followed by project name, test suite name, then the file path. So you can just play based on your requirement. And we got an error. Awesome. Cannot create proper demo specs on number 1. Okay, it's throwing error in the line number 61. Okay, I guess I figured it out. So first of all, when we do the accumulation, right? So here we have done accumulation to the file path, test suite name, and project name. Then based on the accumulation, we are just pushing all the other data, right? Now we have to do the return. So now we'll just return the accumulation. So that is how the reduce functions work. Okay, I hopefully it should run fine this time. Let's go and run this now. You might ask me, hey Kaushik, why are you passing the result? We got the project name, test suite name, we got the file path also. Then why are you pushing the result, right? So that's because you can see we got the file name, we got the spec name, we got the project name, we got the file path. Once I click on, I mean test name, once we click on the test name, it's giving other data. So this data I should fetch from this particular result, because this result is going to hold all the other details, right? So now you can see like we got this in a beautiful way, right? So this is my one object where I have the demo to do spec.ts, where it has like new to do, mark all, and clear completed, all the other specs, right? And even file, which where it doesn't have the spec name, it just gives like example spec. Okay, I think I'm missing few data here. Am I? Yeah, this item editing and counter, all this are missing basically. I think this console log didn't show us, but it should be there. Okay. Yeah, it should be there. Not a big deal to worry about it. So yeah, so finally we are able to get the test suite name based on the project. So for example, here you can select it's a chromium, it's a chromium, it's a chromium. Oh sorry, we have this. So item is there, editing is there, counter is there. It's just the single quotes is missing. I don't know why it's missing. Maybe okay, for some reason it is missing the single quotes, but yeah, you can see like we are getting all the things here, right? Routing and persistence. So you can see routing and persistence. Now within this, of course, we have the array. So if you destructure that again, we can see all those in detail, but let's not worry about it today. So now we learned like how to get the test suite name based on the file name and then followed by the project name. So here we have the Chromium, and once Chromium is done, we should also get the Firefox also, but I believe I haven't installed the Firefox. Or okay, see the name is A, right? So you can see we have this A. It should be Firefox actually. Then we got the Firefox, but it's A, so we are getting also name as A. But it might have ran in the Firefox browser. Okay, so yeah, we are pretty much good with this. I think we have learned a lot of things. In the next video with this information, let's see how to build the UI. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye. Take care. Have a nice day. Have a nice night actually. Bye.